Understanding Net Asset Value (NAV), a comprehensive guide. Net Asset Value (NAV) is a critical concept in the world of investment funds, enabling investors to measure the value of their investments accurately. This article provides an in-depth explanation of NAV, its calculation, significance, and differences between various types of funds, ultimately offering investors a clearer understanding of this essential financial metric. What is Net Asset Value (NAV)? Net asset value represents the value of an investment fund, calculated by subtracting the fund's total liabilities from its total assets. This metric plays a key role in determining the price of individual shares within a mutual fund or unit investment trust. The formula for calculating NAV is straightforward. NAV equals total assets, total liabilities. To determine the per share NAV, divide the total NAV by the number of shares outstanding. Per share NAV equals NAV/total number of outstanding shares. NAV can fluctuate daily, reflecting changes in the market value of the portfolio's underlying securities. The importance of NAV. Pricing mechanism. NAV serves as a clear pricing mechanism for mutual fund investors. Unlike stocks, which fluctuate in real time during trading hours, mutual funds are priced at the end of each trading day based on their NAV. Investor transactions. Investors buy and sell mutual fund shares at the NAV, plus applicable fees for purchases, sales loads, or subtracted fees for redemptions, redemption fees. Performance assessment. NAV allows investors to assess fund performance over time, comparing NAV on different dates to understand the fund's growth trajectory. How to calculate NAV, an example. Consider a hypothetical mutual fund with the following financials. Total investments, $100 million. Cash and cash equivalents, $7 million. Receivables, $4 million. Accrued income, $75,000. Short-term liabilities, $13 million. Long-term liabilities, $2 million. Accrued expenses, $10,000. Outstanding shares, 5 million. Step 1. Calculate total assets. Total assets equals $100 million plus $7 million plus $4 million plus $75,000 equals $111,075,000. Step 2. Calculate total liabilities. Total liabilities equals $13 million plus $2 million plus $10,000 equals $15,010,000. Step 3. Calculate NAV. NAV equals $111,075,000 to $15,010,000 equals $96,065,000. Step 4. Calculate per share NAV. Per share NAV equals $96,065,000 5 million equals $19.21. Thus, the per share NAV, which is crucial for investors looking to buy into or redeem their investment, is $19.21. The role of NAV in mutual funds. Open-end versus closed-end funds. Understanding the context in which NAV operates is vital. Open-end funds. These funds can issue unlimited shares and are typically priced at the end of the trading day based on NAV. Most mutual funds fall into this category. Closed-end funds. Unlike open-end funds, closed-end funds have a fixed number of shares outstanding and trade on stock exchanges. Their market prices can differ significantly from NAV, presenting potential trading opportunities. NAV and fund performance. While NAV is a useful gauge for fund value, it is not the sole indicator of performance. Mutual funds often distribute dividends and capital gains, which can lead to a decrease in NAV post-distribution. Thus, analyzing performance should ideally consider the annual total return and compounded annual growth rate, CAGR, alongside NAV changes. Distinctions in financial terms. NAV versus book value per share. While both metrics provide insights into value, they operate differently. NAV focuses on the overall value of an investment fund after subtracting liabilities. Book value per share represents the total equity value of a single share of stock in a company, which can include intangible assets. NAV versus shareholder equity. Shareholder equity encompasses intangible assets, whereas NAV is calculated solely using tangible assets. Trading dynamics and timelines. NAV is calculated at the end of each business day, and buy-sell orders for mutual funds are processed at the respective per-share NAV on their trade dates. Regulatory guidelines often dictate cutoff times. Orders received before the cutoff are executed at that day's NAV, while those received afterward are executed at the next business day's NAV. The bottom line. Net asset value is a fundamental metric for assessing the value of investment funds, particularly mutual funds. It's essential for investors to understand both NAV and per-share NAV when making investment decisions. By providing a clear valuation framework, NAV aids investors in evaluating performance, executing transactions, and making informed investment choices. Armed with this knowledge, investors can navigate the complexities of mutual funds and optimize their investment strategies.